So the first thing you'll notice is that things look a little different than before. You've still got your lives and bombs, you've still got the graze counter, the power meter, all that good stuff. But there, the similarity ends. Below your graze counter, there's now a point item counter. Right now it reads 0 out of 50. The number on the left shows you how many point items you've collected, the number on the right shows you how many point items you need to gain an extra life, meaning extra lives aren't score-bound anymore. As you progress through the game and acquire extra lives in this manner, the game will require you to collect more and more point items until it's not possible to collect any more lives. Now take a look at the bottom left corner of the screen. This is your cherry. Now cherry is a fairly interesting scoring mechanism in that it ties into just about everything you do. Shooting things, grazing, bombing, etc. Not only that, but the purpose of cherry is twofold here, in that it also ties into the game's story as how much spring essence you as the heroine have collected, which I find pretty cool. Now when you get down to it, there are three variations of cherry: cherry, cherry plus, and cherry max. Cherry is your basic value, the number on the bottom leftmost corner. You increase this by either collecting pink squares on the field, the falling cherry blossoms, or you can keep shooting things and grazing. If you get hit or bomb, however, you lose a percentage of your cherry depending on who you're playing as. We'll talk about the other two variations later. Here comes the first boss. First up of the many characters at least given a mention in this game is Letty Whiterock, who really is just here, the reason being that it's technically still winter and she is a yuki-onna. Now, a yuki-onna, which translates to something like snow woman, is typically a yokai in Japanese folklore that usually appears in snowy nights as a beautiful young lady to lost travelers. But rumors about her behavior towards others varies apparently, depending on which prefecture you hear them in. It can range from a chance encounter, her luring you towards her and freezing you to death, to much more aggressive methods like breaking down your door during a blizzard, finding you, and then freezing you to death / taking your soul out of your body / removing the livers from your children. Thankfully, Letty has shown to be amazingly mellow compared to these stories, at least from what we see of her. Letty loves the winter. You think you love winter? No, not as much as she. She practically lives in it, being an apparition and all. Not to mention her ability completely revolves around that, and her being a yuki-onna. She's here because she knows we're about to end this already long enough winter, and she, in her heart of hearts, doesn't want that. I'd imagine it's a mental tug of war for her because she knows winter should give way to spring anyway, but then she would be able to enjoy herself. But then the natural order would be disrupted even further, so she only fights half-heartedly as a result. Being a Stage 1 boss, it would be understandable that she'd be accepting of a disadvantageous situation on top of that. In this case, she has a bigger hitbox than most Stage 1 bosses. When I heard that the fanbase generally took this as When I heard that the fanbase generally took this large presence as a sign of, oh, she must be fat, my first thought was literally, wow, that's insulting. Thankfully, that mindset has died down not too long ago. It's probably because she hasn't shown up in recent Touhou games, though. Or maybe in an unprecedented act, people on the internet are maturing. But I doubt that very much. Anyhow, that'll do it for Stage 1, and in the next video we'll see why silliness takes precedence over seriousness on the interwebs.